Hello once again, peoples of the internet. I'm Mo, and I am back today with my third book haul video, and the last for a while, I expect. And this is the books that I got for Christmas, which I'm super excited about, all of them. Not that I wasn't excited about the ones in the former videos, but I just got these, so they're obviously, freshly exciting. Anyway, I was not actually given these particular books for Christmas. I was given gift cards and things, and then I bought these books for myself. So now my mom and my other family members who gave me Christmas money know where it went. Anyway, I'm going to go right through the list. There are 15 things. So yeah, I feel like it was a decent haul for a bunch of Christmas books here. The first thing that I got is actually a nonfiction book, and it is the Book of Barely Imagined Beings by Caspar Henderson. And this is inspired by the medieval bestiaries, where they just listed all the different animals and talked about what they were like, except that those were not very accurate. And so this talks about a number of different actual animals, but then just really weird ones or really weird things about actual animals that people don't know. So looking forward to reading this. I'm not sure if I'll read it straight through or if it'll be more of a dip in and out type of a thing, but yeah, we will see. The next few things I got were collections. The first one is Songs for Ophelia by Theodora Goss. I couldn't really remember what this was about when I was looking through my want to read list, so I went and looked it up on Amazon, and I clicked on the little look inside thing and started reading, and then realized that what I was reading was not actually the book. It was the introduction to the book that hadn't been labeled introduction, because otherwise I probably would have skipped it. But I was reading and I was like, oh my goodness, I love this introduction. Whoever wrote this introduction, I want to read their work. And I got to the bottom of the introduction and it said Catherine M. Valenti, and I went, oh yeah, I already do read her work. But she just raved about this author in there, so I picked this up. It's a collection of poetry. Don't know a lot else about it, but it's fairly short, so I'll probably be getting to it fairly soon, and you guys will get to know more. The next one that I picked up is also a poetry collection, and it is Fungi from Yuggoth by H.P. Lovecraft. Just the idea of cosmic horror poetry just struck me as incredibly funny, which maybe it shouldn't, but I wanted to give this a try. I do like Lovecraft's writing in general, so we'll see how I feel about his poetry. And the next one that I got is Jagannath by Karen Tidbeck. This is a collection of short stories. I don't know a lot about it, but it does have really good ratings and reviews, and it's also a piece of translated fiction, which I've been trying to read more of, fiction from different places. So we'll see how I end up liking that. I think everything else on this list is fantasy and sci-fi novels. So I got next, the next one's also a collection, The Iriad by Stanislaw Lem. This is considered sort of a vintage classic sci-fi book, and it is a collection of satirical short stories about an inventor and his inventions, I think. So I'm looking forward to reading some comic fantasy there. The next one I got was Ilium by Dan Simmons. I've heard a lot of things about Hyperion, which he also wrote, which is a retelling of the Canterbury Tales set in space. This is a retelling of the Iliad set in space, and there's another book which is based on the Odyssey, so this is a duology. I've heard a lot of good things about his work, have not read one of his books yet, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. I then got The Quantum Thief by Hanu Reginimi. I probably said that wrong. I don't remember specifically what this one is about right now. I think it's set on another planet. I've heard really good things about it from some other booktubers, so I decided I would pick it up. The next one is Speaker for the Dead by Orson Scott Card. I read Ender's Game a number of years ago. I really enjoy it, and somehow never got around to reading any more of the books in that series, so I thought I would pick up the second one, and I've heard that some people think it's even better than the first one, so really looking forward to finding out my opinion on that. The next one is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. Again, I really like Neil Gaiman. I haven't read a lot of his stuff yet, hoping to read more, but I recently discovered that Neil Gaiman is a G.K. Chesterton fan, and G.K. Chesterton is probably my favorite author, and apparently this book was partially inspired by The Napoleon of Notting Hill, which is a Chesterton book that I absolutely love, so I thought, well, if I'm going to pick up a Neil Gaiman, I'll try this one. So yeah, we'll see what I think about it, and if I can pick up where it's referencing or connected to that other novel as well. The next one that I got was Invisible Cities by Italo Calvino. I've been wanting to read a Calvino book for a while, and so I went to look up which of his I had on my list when I wanted to buy some things. And I just felt like Invisible Cities would be a good one to be picking up soon. As I talked about recently in one of my Top 5 Wednesday videos, I love fictional cities. I don't know why, I just do. And this is apparently about Marco Polo telling stories to Kubla Khan about different places that he's been, and sounds like it's fairly literary and it's got really good reviews, so hopefully I love it just as much as everybody else does. The next one I picked up was The Chronicles of Master Li and Number 10 Ox, a story of ancient China that never was. And I think this is a bind-up of 2 or 3 books. And it's about these characters named Master Li and Number 10 Ox. I believe Number 10 Ox is supposed to be like the 10th child in his family, so they like put the number 10 in his name. And it's supposed to sound like an ancient Chinese novel, I guess, but I started reading part of the beginning and it sounds really funny, so looking forward to this one. It's probably pretty long since it's a bind-up, so we'll see how long it takes me to get through it. The next one is also a bind-up, and that is Shadow and Claw by Gene Wolfe. I've had this one on my to-read list for a long time, and this is a bind-up with the first 2 books in his... I don't remember the name of the series right now. I'll put it on the screen somewhere around here. But we were talking about possibly doing a buddy read with me and Michael and Paul from Bitten by a Radioactive Book and A Common Touch of Fantasy. Not sure if that's going to happen or not, but I figured I'd want to read it anyway, so I picked it up. 3 more. The next one is The Dragonbone Chair by Tad Williams. I've yet to read any Tad Williams, and I just feel like it's this gaping hole in my fantasy fandomness. Yeah. So this is the first of one of his series, and I believe it's epic fantasy. Don't know much about it otherwise. My mom has these books at home, and I remember staring at the covers as a child because I thought they were so beautiful. Mostly the covers for book number 3. But yeah, moving on. The next one, also an author I have not yet read but want to. I picked up Railsea by China Miéville. From what I've heard about Miéville's books, it sounds like they're just right up my alley and I'm really going to like them. I believe Railsea is like a fantasy sci-fi retelling of like Moby Dick with trains in the desert and possibly... I don't remember. It sounded really weird and really awesome, so hopefully I just love it because I'm really looking forward to this one. And the last one I got is an audiobook, and that is The Lions of Al-Rassan by Guy Gabriel Kay. I don't know much about this. I know that Guy Gabriel Kay writes fantasy in worlds that are based on different cultures out of our own Earth and different periods of history. So this one is obviously in a sort of Arabian type of culture, and people just rave about Guy Gabriel Kay's writing, and I've never read one of his books, and Arabian fantasy sounded like a lot of fun, so this is the one that I picked up. So that's all of the books that I kind of bought myself, I guess, for Christmas. Yeah, let me know if you've read these ones, where you think I should start, and yeah, I'll be seeing you guys next time. Happy reading.